Hello and welcome to Pens, Paint and Whiskers. Today I'm going to be doing part 2 of Can I Make Art based on this car here. This car is a BMW. If you haven't been watching my part 1, it's a BMW Series 5, I think, and the colour is what drew me into this first and foremost. I saw it in real life, really liked it, and then that got me thinking, can I make pieces of art based on not necessarily the car, but certainly the colour? The colour I later found out is an exclusive BMW colour, so it's called Isle of Man Green. And in my previous video, part 1, I sketched out some mermen. I know. Uh, Regular viewers of the channel might recognize the habit of it. And I decided that somewhere along the line, I was going to give this little fella here was the first one. So I was going to give him a friend. And so now he has a friend, and this is the colour I'm happily building up. This is graphite alcohol markers, and this is a 300 GSM Llewellyn watercolor sketchbook. And I had an idea that he should have dug up the little the triskel, the three-legged symbol of the Isle of Man, and he's dug it up from somewhere. And as I was explaining in my last video, it looked to me like it was a little kind of a car hubcap ornament almost. And in keeping with the theme of the car, I really like that, so I've decided to go that way. And I've also decided I'm going to paint the majority of these. So apart from these little guys here, the rest is painted. And this lovely sketchbook, it's taking the watercolor and the gouache, and it seems to take no matter what I throw at it really well, even though it's early days yet, but I have great confidence in it. So we'll just leave the car here. Moon can look after that. So yeah, and these little colors, I'm not sure if I talked about these with supplies. There's another video episode or idea certainly, but these are Montmartre metallic acrylics, so we're going to hopefully do more of these. And I'm going to try and paint their horns and their little the little symbol, and I was thinking gold certainly, if not bronze and silver. And I haven't got my little spritzer, so you're just witnessing me here doing it freehand. And off camera, of course, I have painted them. And I'm really happy with the colours I picked for them. So I gave them an underpainting of a sort of a light dusky lilac. And then I sort of warm it. Now, I sort of, not saying that I wasn't happy with it, but I wasn't happy with it. And so I gave it a little bit, kind of went over it a slight bit. I'm just going to tip more water into this. I would recommend a spritzer, but I don't have mine today on me. But anyway, and these are kind of some Winsor Newton, just a range of sort of small 0 or 1 kind of little bristles here. So I'm going to get right into it, and I was thinking maybe I'll try and do his horns in gold and the little symbol he has here in bronze, and then the middle in silver. So I may also do a little walkthrough of these metallic acrylics. I said to myself that I would use more mediums. I didn't use much in 2025. 2026 was going to be the year of me trying mediums that I've never tried. And of course, I'm treating these, I'll admit, a little bit like watercolors, because I'm more used to watercolors and gouache. I know it's not necessarily how they are supposed to be treated or used even, but I always say you don't get anywhere by not experimenting. And I'm fighting against the dying light here, of course, but that is very shiny paint, so I do like that. I do like that a lot. Now, so I should say as well, the background of these little guys here are, it's actually gouache. It's Reeves gouache paint. And it comes in a little, not a tube, but a little sort of jar, which I really like more than the tubes because you don't have the problem with it drying out as much. And yeah, it comes there, and I found for budgetary art supplies, I found it really good. So I got a turquoise and then Pebeo gouache, mixed them together and got this lovely block color background. So going forward in 2026, I'm going to aim to do more of that, paint rather than just sort of use acrylic markers. It's nice to do something that I rarely allow myself to do, just sit and paint. Okay, so that does look really, really good. And as I go on in part 3, you might see me. I have a glaze. So what it is I think it's for watercolor. But I don't shy away from testing products and doing surprising things with products. So if it says watercolor, well, fair enough. But I'm going to test it anyway, and I'm probably going to test it over these guys and see how they go. Now, it might be an absolute disaster, but you'll never know if you don't try it. So their little horns here are quite narrow, obviously. So I'm just being careful. This is a Create brush, I think. I never think that the paint brushes really matter, so long as it's not really the thing you need to be worrying about. What you need to be worrying about really in getting your art to look good and last well is the surface and the medium itself. So i.e. what you're painting with and what you're painting on. Your brush, in my opinion, is just a secondary tool. But of course, there's nothing stopping you spending money on nice brushes, because nice brushes they do feel really nice. And I'm just going up his little horn here. So these guys, I say mermen. Well, yeah, they are, but I also thought that colour is a little bit like a dragon as well. And I don't really draw dragons, and I didn't want to draw a dragon, so I sort of combined them into these sort of dragon fish men. So that's what they are, and that's why they've got an awful lot of horns. Now, so yeah, and off camera I will go around that, maybe even with a Posca gold pen. I'll see, but yeah, it's quite nice. And I'm not used to working with acrylics at all. But I've decided 2026 is going to be the year that I work with gouache, acrylics, all kinds of things. And so far so good. And I'm going to do all kinds of these mad little funny little challenges like this. And yeah, so far so good. If you've been following along, you'll see I've already committed to several different challenges, like color challenges, for example, and making art based on just color palettes that I choose. So that's really going well. And these guys were just based on one lone image. And that's really went well too. Now I'm going to stop here at his cheeks. So as I said, they're not necessarily all kinds of fishy, typically fishmen. They are indeed dragonfish. So that means I imagine they have a lot of spines, sort of like brow spines and cheek spines. So don't give them a hug and don't go in for a kiss. And they're going to have spines. like you see he's got them down his back. So I'm going to go and paint these, and then I'm going to look to this symbol up here and take a sip of coffee, of course. It's very important. And yeah, I was thinking as well, this little the story or the idea behind them is, do they live in the seas surrounding the Isle of Man? I don't know. Possibly since they found the little symbol, but the symbol, the three legs symbol, in a triskel kind of Celtic looking design. I believe it is originally a Norse symbol or a Basque symbol, something like that. And I think the motto behind it is, whatever way you throw me, I land standing up. So it's sort of like a motto of resilience. And so these guys anyway must have been, they're living in, must be the Irish Sea, and scrabbling around in the sands. And then what do they find? Only this strange symbol. And they're wondering what it is, of course, and the fact that it has legs, they do not. And sort of potentially a little bit worried about it. Is it a cursed talisman or something? But however, they're both having a look at it, and I wanted to capture that kind of digging up this item and kind of tying it back to their colour, Isle of Man green, and a car. I think I've managed that really well. And this lovely blue background, that's gouache. This in here in their squares that I am going to frame more. Acrylic markers, I believe either creative acrylic markers or Arctics, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm going to try these metallics. So there's copper, bronze, and silver. Now, I like the idea of silver. So silver as in a little frame for this symbol. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm still keeping to my very small little brush. And as you can see, there's not really much of a need for a tray. I do think using a tray is best, but I just sometimes go directly from the tube, as you can probably see. So here, I won't call it the lazy way, but it means less cleanup. And as I'm not blending, I don't mean to blend any of these or mix them together. Working from the tube is more effective and less of a cleanup. So that's why I'm doing it. Now, so that's silver. It's quite, would it be opaque? It's a little bit translucent. Yeah, a little bit. I'll try it up here in the bigger patch. Now, I probably should have done the bigger patch sooner. But anyway. So yeah, okay, it's quite light actually, very light silver. Yeah, I like this silver. There's a kind of a nice sort of some silvers you can get. It's quite light, and I didn't expect it to be quite so light. Some silvers you can get depending on the shade. It's a funny thing to think of gold and silver in different shades, but they can be. This is very light silver. So some silvers you get are very cool and quite dark. That one's quite light, and it is also quite warm. So I do like that. Now, as they've dug it up from the sea, potentially off camera, I might try and do a little bit of tarnished sort of look. Or maybe with the coppers here, I might. But I'll keep going with the silver, the ring, sort of like a hood ornament, I should say. Circling it in silver, reminiscent of that Mercedes symbol, I think. But it is quite a warm silver. And I don't know if the camera picks it up, but I sense that there's a little bit of yellow in it. It's a funny thing to think of yellow or cream with silver, but it feels very light. The tone of it very slightly yellowish or creamish, and it is quite nice. And this paint, I'm not so used to working with acrylic paint. I will admit it wouldn't be my top choice of um, anything really, or main medium. The most I would know about is acrylic markers, and even then it's not so much. But yeah, I can't say that it feels strange or anything, because it doesn't. It just feels quite silky, and it feels quite nice to work with. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. And well, I know you can blend. It's not so easy to blend, certainly. You can do a tiny little bit. Tiny little bit of blending, but I'm not going to attempt much blending. But what I will do is I will try a little bit of tarnish. So this is with metallic, so Montmartre metallic bronze. So I'm going to try dotting in a little bit of appearing to be sort of tarnished. That was why I took it out, actually thinking it might actually be quite fun to try that. Yeah, and already already it's improving it slightly. Not that it needed to be improved, it doesn't. And you can blend it to a certain extent, but yeah, not really. I probably have not got the technique because, as I say, acrylic is not something I am used to working with. But anyway, I can see no better medium for these fellows than acrylic and gouache. Yeah, so, yeah, I do like that actually. I like the effect it's giving. It's like a silver is wearing off in the sea, of course, and underneath there's a rust coming through and barnacles maybe. But off camera, I will work on this a little bit more. But yeah, I do like that. And I'm not going to blend, I'm just going to dot that on and leave it there. Now be careful with this brush here. Patting it dry. And yeah, we'll see now. This is, I've used the gold, silver. This is Montmartre. I must make a video on these. But quite a nice range and quite budgetary as well. And I'm finding they are doing the job. And again, from what the little bit I can see of them here, they are quite, I would recommend them. They seem to be very good. I think that was copper, and seem to be a lot in the range. There's a nice metallic green. So I might make a video challenging myself to use those as well. It's an idea for down the line. So as you can see, I've spilled a little dot of water here, but that's okay. Yeah, so would I recommend Montmartre? Yes. Budgetary, yeah, absolutely. Would I recommend trying acrylic paint? Yeah, I would, but they're still not my favorite medium, and I don't know why. I want to get used to more of them going forward. But what I do like about them is, yes, the background here is gouache, but I do like the idea of being able to just block them in as a block background. So I can imagine they can be very useful for very graphic styles. So I do like that. And I would use them more in that regards. Not be always relying on alcohol markers. Alcohol markers are all well and good, but I have these supplies, so I might as well give them another go. And I'm still yet to make up my mind if I truly like acrylics or the medium of acrylics, but we're allowed to have some little bit of a dislike or a discussion on certain mediums that are are favourites or not. I will say acrylics have never been my favourite, but by the end of the year, who knows? I might tell you differently, but I do like them for block backgrounds. And the little bit I know about them, I'm willing to learn more how to blend and how to use them correctly. Probably why I don't like them as much as I should is because, yeah, maybe the way I'm using them isn't correct, but that's just my opinion. Okay, so and in part three, then when I come back with part three, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a glaze. So I have a glaze, and I bought this glaze. It's for watercolors, and it seems to work well. I tested it, and it does seem to work well on a lot of other mediums. So yeah, and it can be watered down. So I'm going to try it on these fellows here and see does it work. Because to me there's no good in going online and some people say yes it does work, others say no it doesn't. Well, I'm going to prove it, I'm going to try it, and I'm going to see will it or won't it work, and if it does it does, and if it doesn't, well then I know no it doesn't work. I'd rather do my own experiments and my own thoughts, and I'm going to record it and you're going to see me testing it as well. Yeah, so that's the majority of what I wanted to cover and what I wanted to sort of demonstrate the next step. So I do like this a lot. I like the shine and I like how smooth and even. So it's even, yeah, it is very quick to dry. There's no real extra glitter in it. Some glue gives off a glitter. There's none really in that, but if I hold it towards the light, you can see it is quite bright. I'd imagine if you wanted to try borders or gold framing, that would be lovely. Obviously, the gold is a little bit more shinier than the copper here. But yeah, it's working really well. So I'm really happy with that. And I'm going to continue that off camera. And there is, yeah, a lot more gold to do and a lot more bronze. So I'm going to continue. And in part 3, you're going to see me trying that glaze on them. And I will know then whether it is a disaster or is it not. But anyway, if you've been following along from the very, very beginning, thank you very much for still following along from the very beginning. Much appreciated. If you're just new and you've stumbled upon my videos, thank you very much. I do this kind of thing very, very regularly. I have a video out pretty much every week. So if you like it, why not consider liking and subscribing? And you'll see more of this. However, I'm going to love you and leave you guys and back for part 3.